to Star Trek, the original series, Season 1, Episode 18, Arena, or as the real fans know it, Episode 19, where we are going to be continuing the watch-along series that is taking so long. The little character of me in the instructions and thumbnail is triply out of date. My hair is no longer anywhere near that long. My glasses no longer look like that. I did an Enterprise G, threw a middle finger and destroyed a beautiful lineage that was very progressive and, slowly changing to get what I have now. And the art style has actually changed like 2 or 3 times. But hey, Prodigy releases all in a day, so, we, I guess it'll be like 2-3 months till we can update that. But yeah, if you don't know what we're doing, which to be fair, you might not, because it has been a little while since, because Discovery got in the way. We are basically recording a audio commentary track live. So in a little bit, for legal reasons, can't just stream an episode of Star Trek. We've got some things to help the time bar, and then I'll play the blurred version of the episode in the background. But it's bring your own video, bring your own show audio. There's a link to the Paramount Plus in the description if you still have it for Discovery, which in fact I think I do. I canceled my subscription 2 days ago, but I still had the pending charge because I think it went later than I did. I got lazy about it, dang it. But yeah, in a little bit I'll do some rambling so people can get set up. But we'll do a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 go, and on go everyone's gonna hit play. Yeah, well, first off to talk about is I mentioned Prodigy. It has been officially confirmed that Prodigy will come out on Netflix July 1st. That is a Monday. I assume it's American time zones, actually. Usually it is Pacific, but I don't really watch anything on Netflix. But beyond that, Prodigy is releasing all 20 episodes at the same time. It's a bulk release to the horror of every reviewer. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do about that, especially because it's a Monday. So if I hold off to the weekend, it's like a week late. I did a poll, which isn't the end-all be-all, I might override you guys, but I did a poll whether or not people wanted watch-alongs like we're about to do. Except it's my first time watching Prodigy, and we just basically do them all back-to-back. Like, just back-to-back watch-along streams over probably a couple days, because that's like 10 hours to go through Prodigy, give or take. And the other option was to do, like, reviews, like we do for Discovery and stuff, where basically I watch episode 1, I immediately do the review. Hello, Rick, CO21, we're discussing Prodigy right now, where people get set up. Yeah, I could do a review. I watch episode 1, do a review immediately after, like I normally do. And then, after we review episode 1, everybody leaves, I go watch episode 2, and then like half an hour after we ended the stream, there's another one. So it's just like back-to-back. I don't know what happens in the next episode, but I back-to-back stream it blind. Because I'd love to do it blind. Right? There's the risk someone in chat will spoil it, but we'll see. That's why I want to do it like all at once really soon. Like I might even take a bunch of days off for that. And the poll came out to a 50-50 split exactly. So, this actually happens a lot. I don't know what we'll do. I don't like watch-alongs as a first viewing because I kind of just want to watch it the first time, and Prodigy's actually good. If it was Discovery, maybe I would have done it. But no, Prodigy's a really good series. So we'll see. I honestly have no idea. Oh, and also, that's around the time I gotta plant my pumpkins. So, that's just gonna destroy things. But anyway, I think I've rambled enough. We can get into Arena, the Gorn episode, which I realize means I'm going to ramble a bit more about it. Obviously a classic. I remember it being a good one. I don't really remember it being like, top, really, really high top episodes. I'm hesitant to put a number on that, like not top 5, top 3. But you know, one of the good ones. And of course, I have a personal connection to this episode. Because I worked back when I did with McDonald's. I worked with, it was either the niece or nephew, I can't remember, of the actor who played the Gorn, which was quite something. That was quite a bomb they dropped one day when they learned I was into Star Trek. They're like, oh yeah, my uncle played like a villain in one of the original stuff with Kirk. I was like, oh really? You know, who they do? Expecting like, you know, Klingon number 4 or like some random background alien. There's like, nah, the Gorn, you know, just the Gorn casually. So yeah, I'm too. Oh, I was gonna look this up. Am I 1 degree of separation from William Shatner, 2 or 3? I mean, that's not the best, you know, William Shatner, that's not too many bragging rights, but that also puts me just like another degree from like the entire TOS cast and Picard, and being like 3 degrees of separation from Spock puts me like 4 degrees of separation from anybody in the franchise. Really, so that's fun. I wonder if that puts me like within 7 degrees of separation away from Kevin Bacon. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google 7 degrees of separation. But yeah, Arena. We'll try and keep complaining about Strange New Worlds to a minimum. I've been vocal. I don't like what they do with the Gorn. But you know, this is homework. Strange New Worlds will probably next year. I guess early next year would be when we'd expect Strange New Worlds with Lower Decks coming out in the fall. I think so, yeah, because they are still delayed from the strike stuff. But anyway, shall we begin? As I said before, we're going to do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And on go, everybody's going to hit play. And in fact, let me properly mute system output. There we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Glad that spacebar worked. I wasn't sure if I was in the window or not. I just got my Eaglemoss Enterprise lineage set up. I can see it to my left and a whole bunch of other starships. It's good to see them again. I feel like I was watching something else. TOS. Oh yeah, I did TNG with my wife. That's what I'm thinking of. There were a lot of transporter scenes. Oh yeah, it is a trap, isn't it? I was like, isn't this colony, like, just been invaded? Why are they so chill about it? Yeah, welcome back to TOS. I forgot we have to deal with the 1960s. Just, I don't like Bones, right? I feel like that's not a super controversial opinion, but Bones is just... I mean, one, he is a direct quote from Rudenberry, an old southern fossil in an era where that really shouldn't exist. But he's also just a massive pervert who basically explicitly exploits his position as ship's doctor to see lady bits. So yeah, and he's also super racist towards Spock, so you know. Don't like Bones. Just like Moopsy, no bones. That's my, that's what I need. I need Moopsy to come through TOS. Oh god, we do those unique intros, don't we? Alright. Put me on the spot here. There you go, that's what you're getting from me. He has dreams as well, man. What? Like... Yeah, I mean, actually, I think he's at his aspirations, but, like, having aspirations doesn't excuse rampant sexism and racism, you know? It's just something I can't get past. I do this a lot where I bring up, I call it casual alien racism when sci-fi will often very casually have their characters make racist comments, but no one really clocks it because the races don't exist. Like, the best example is probably in a sci-fi where it's like, oh, look, it's the bird people, the fish people, the dog people, I don't know. It's like... that's more light, but green-blooded, pointed-eared logic freak is a little more on the racist side, you know? Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna fight someone who likes McCoy too much, too bad. Like, I mean, he's a well-written character. He's a good character. I just don't like the guy. Is that a police badge instead of the Delta? It looks like an American police badge just on its side. I love TOS. It's always like, oh my god, aliens. Suspense. This is actually a really good colony set. Like, it's quite... It's pretty large for TOS, but it's really well done. I wonder if it's reused from something. I could probably check, actually. Star Trek Arena? Memory Alpha. I'll just do a quick little search for, like, the word set. Apparently not. Yeah, no. Oh, they're not shields yet. TOS. Maybe Season 2 will get to the right terminology. Yes, Captain, I know. I'm the scientific officer of the Enterprise. I don't... That's a very piercing noise. I don't like that. Oof. No, that's very loud. I mean, it's great for, like, you know, war. I mean, it is, like... I guess you'd have a lot of war sort of films and stuff from the 60s, but it's a really gritty episode compared to the other ones. I think Gene Roddenberry was in, like, Vietnam or something as well. And he brought a lot of that experience to Starfleet. Hey, is that the Vasquez Rocks? I want to put a pin that apparently this colony has an arsenal. No, I'll do it, because one of the things I like about this episode is the Gorn aren't, like, evil, mindless savages. Like, the Federation established a colony in their territory. Like, the Federation are the invaders here. Is that the guy that plays Pike? Hang on. Next to Sulu? That looks a lot like the guy who plays Pike in the cage. But anyway, like, yeah, obviously the Gorn were really ruthless. Oh no, that's not the same guy. The Gorn were really ruthless. Like, they didn't have to wipe out the Federation. They didn't have any attempt at communication. But they are, like, an intelligent species that managed to build, like, they're a spacefaring, warp-capable species who had an apparently armed incursion into their territory. Like, this thing has an arsenal. I'm looking at some of the signs around. There's nothing inherently provocative. There's, like, life support and storage. But Yeah, I just really don't like how Strange New Worlds is like, they're lizards, therefore they're basically evil animals who run purely on instinct and will fly into the sun or whatever. I don't remember. Something about a sun flashing, making the Gorn impulsively do stuff. I don't know. Hashtag not my Gorn. There we go. There's your Strange New Worlds rant. I'm sure we won't have any more of that. Dang it. That's still within the runtime of this episode. That man is screwed. In fact, 38... Well, okay, it's not gonna play in real time. But we'll remember anyway, 38. This looks like one of those things that, you definitely couldn't do that stunt nowadays. Oh my gosh, and Kirk's shirt is intact. I want this clip as, like, you know, defeat the enemy with your own intelligence, but you interpret that as throw your tricorder as a grenade. Defeat them with our gadgets! You know, I've just clocked as well that he mentioned they wanted, like, the tactical team to beam down, but no one's a red shirt, even though we already have that, like, all security guys are in red. Good lord. Yeah, we just... Oh, no, they got that from the arsenal. I was gonna be like, yeah, I just beam down with my photon cannon, you know? Every mission, Kirk brings that thing. He just feels naked without it, you know? In fact, the colony had this thing, and apparently it's still lost. I love how they left the very hollow taps, you know? They didn't Foley that. They didn't cut the audio. They left that in. All right, here we go. 10 minutes in, we get to the good stuff. Oh, okay, fair enough. It's apparently interesting, though, that, yeah, I'm gonna gloss over that line. But, they get, like, regular space traffic. You know, this sort of thing happens all the time, but apparently they never knew they were in Gorn territory. I mean, we'll have to see. Maybe I'm slightly misremembering the resolution, of course, but... To know you find the fourth point of a triangle, my friend. Man, I know it's a joke. I know it's set up. I don't. A duck drop. Yeah, you forget. You can forget how, like, thinly spread they are. And this is why Kirk isn't fully deserving of being called basically just Picard. Because, you know, he's a lot more Picard than you'd think, but... yeah. I wonder, I don't remember, but I wonder if the episode does something with this. Like, we haven't seen the Gorn yet, but Kirk just jumps to the conclusion of invasion. But I feel like we usually don't do that, even in TOS. Like, we usually, especially Kirk, will often try and, like, avoid that upfront confrontation. Yeah, I don't remember. I mean, it's been, like, years since I've seen TOS. No, Kirk, that's a computer. That guy does look a lot like Pike. Is it like is it the guy's kid or something? I kind of wonder. Look at that. Like, that could be gray up his hair a little bit, and that's Pike. Oh yeah, and according to Stranger Worlds, the Federation fully knows who the Gorn is. I've just recalled that. Spock, you've met these people! God, Stranger Worlds. Stranger Worlds is generally good, but I will throw criticism at Stranger Worlds way more readily than anyone else. God, I kind of wish I'd forgotten that aspect. Was Spock on the episode about killing babies, Rick? Do you remember the, Stranger Worlds, the one where they just kill Gorn babies? I don't remember what it's called. The one where Hemmer dies. Spoilers. Who the heck was on that one? Like, who was that away team? Strange New Worlds. Oh, and I mean, he'll definitely see him in season 3, but, you know. Did Kirk have, like, family on that quality or something? He does feel a little more, like, bloodthirsty than he has in previous episodes. Got me, man. I'm thinking about Doctor Who. Dang it! I almost made a joke, too, about, like, the fourth point of the triangle was the plot point, because Doctor Who had a triangle as, like, a major plot point. You want to talk Doctor Who, come this time tomorrow, where, it's my turn to be in the crossfire. Can they do that? Hang on, how fast does the Enterprise go? Is that max speed? The Enterprise doesn't go that fast. Like, I know it's TOS warp. What is max warp? Keep going to memory alpha. Man, I used to just know all of this stuff. Okay. What is your max speed? Yeah, speed warp 7. I mean, I'd do that if I was captain too. I'd be like, warp 11, just to signify I wanted to go as fast as possible. We take longer to get to the, like, MacGyver stuff than I remember. I knew that you had the invasion at the start, like that colony. Oh, you skipped 3. We're about to crash it! That always bothers me when they're following someone, especially when the visuals show it super closely, and like someone starts slowing down. It's like they're slowing down incredibly quickly, man. Like you should really, you're going light speed. Like you're going 10,000 times light speed right now or something. Yeah, let's just shoot them without even attempting to contact them after they've come to a full stop with no offensive posturing. I know it's been a while. I just don't remember Kirk being this aggressive so far. Kirk's not really the, like, guns first kind of person. He's just the person who, when it comes to guns, is gonna go, like... Well, not even that. He's just very sure of, like, his way is the right way. That's Kirk. But his way has never really been, let's go straight to obliteration. Even to the point of, like, rejecting advice from Spock. You know, just, like, waving it out of hand. Wonder who wrote this. If it's maybe like a different person than any other episode. I'm gonna check. Let's see. Frederick Brown. I think he just wrote Arena. Yeah, TV-wise, he just wrote Arena. Metreon? Oh yeah, that Gorn ship. I own one of those Gorn ships. It looks like it's got a big dick, and that's all I remember about it. It really does. Give it a Google. Is that what I said? I don't remember. Slight flashy light warning if you're watching my stream. Oh, I forgot to mention, because it's been a while, but I watched the remastered versions of episodes. It doesn't matter, but I'm seeing remastered effects. Captain, I know who the Gorn are. To be fair, is it actually the Gorn's intention to kill, like, Kirk? They've just been running away. I guess they did attack him on the colony, but the Metrons didn't see that. The scream was a little much. I'm the captain now. There he is! There's my McDonald's uncle, Mr. Gorn. I got a little model of him on my desk I got for, like, Christmas. Just a little thumb-sized thing. Such a better design than what Strange New Worlds did as well. I mean, okay, it is humanoid, but I think Strange New Worlds goes too far the other way. If sound is light, just moving slower, and the ball has the shadow of a triangle. What? If... Rick, I'm afraid I don't know what you're getting at. Oh, accurate line from the Strange New Worlds writer's room. I need to clip that. Hang on, how far away? 24 minutes in. I need to clip that for my Strange New Worlds reviews and put it on a soundboard. I need to remember that this is an intelligent creature, captain of a starship. It's my Doctor Who puzzle over time. Well, sound isn't light moving slower. It's just not. Sounds like something Tom Baker would have said, honestly. It's like it's a bit nonsensy. Or like 5 or 6, when it's just they were basically doing magic. Yeah, no, best Gorn design. I'm not gonna tout it as perfect. Honestly, it could take aspects from the others, like modern production. All the Gorn needed was the same treatment that Enterprise gave, like, the Tellarites or the Andorians. It's the same design, it just doesn't look like makeup anymore. Like, Enterprise is the best. It doesn't even feel like a redesign when Enterprise does things. I mean, of course, Enterprise did the Gorn, and it sucked. But, you know, just take that same design, but I don't want to see the makeup and around the eyes, and I don't want to see the seam in the mask. That's all I need. Plus, I do love the outfits, like the coloring and the fabric. I don't actually know what the Gorn wear in Strange New Worlds, to be fair, because they're always in super dark scenes, but I really hope Strange New Worlds has an arc where it's like, hey, the Gorn are people too. It just starts... No, I said we were done. I said we weren't talking about Strange New Worlds. Oh, that's the Vasquez rocks. There they are. What's that facial expression from Scotty? Oh, there we go. That's better. It must be a different day of filming. Uhura is definitely the Season 3 character in the thumbnails, by the way. It's continuing mission. That kind of sounds like Kirk boasting. Like, I was half paying attention to the fist fight, but It's like, yeah, I could definitely kill someone. I was actually real tough and, like, sexy and stuff when I was fighting him. It was real cool, guys. Looks like Middle Washington. It's not just me, right? That guy looks like Pike so much. Like, this, the Cage Pike. It's not just the hair. Like, he's also got some facial structures stuff. Yeah, get out of here, Bones. How the hell are you gonna help him? Look at me. I'm the captain now. Get your racist ass off my bridge. Oh yeah, they don't even know where he is. Like, Bones, especially for the chief medical officer of what is now established as the flagship of the Federation, but even if it wasn't, like, the flagship class, he's just so sort of he's so impulsive and, like, really doesn't think anything through. And I guess his job description doesn't require him to make captain-like decisions, but as a very clear advisor for Kirk and Spock when he is in charge, he's just really bad at. He's like the guy in like a military show, like Third Doctor stuff. He's like the incompetent military or like government official who the Third Doctor shouts at for being incompetent, and you're like, this guy is comically like nuke happy. It's unbelievable. That's what McCoy is to me. I think a lot of McCoy love is nostalgia. If McCoy was on, like, Discovery, people would rip him to shreds. Not that we use money, but, you know. I do like that, you know, the solution is clevery. It is clevery to build a weapon. Like, you know, there's a reason this one's famous. And I am talking through a lot of the action, but it is good. Like, you know, it's not normally the sort of thing I'd go for, really, but it makes it work somehow. I think the location filming helps, actually. It really is bringing up the production value. Just those clear blue skies, the actual, like, hot, oppressive sun. Let me tell you, it's gonna hit 85 today. I know what that feels like. Apparently, and I know this because I spoke to their nibbling, but the Gorn actor was, like, instructed to be super slow and lumbery. They could actually do a lot more in that costume, which probably gave him, like, massive heat exhaustion. But they were instructed to be really slow and lumbery and clumsy. It's not the costume, it's the direction. Do you think a TV show is better with forced perspective? I'm not familiar. Like an animated show? I don't think I'm familiar with forced perspective. Oh, yeah, no, when, like, something's closer to the camera, it's bigger. I mean, that's just special effects, you know? So if the special effect is done well, then yeah, it enhances the show. But if it's done poorly, it can take you out of it. There is an aspect, if it's an old show like this from the 60s or something, where it can cross into being kind of charming, where, like, oh yeah, that's well done. Like, it's the best thing you could have done, and it's a clever solution that works, you know, it's the best thing you could have accomplished at this time. But just generally, it's a special effect, so if it's done well, it works. If it's done poorly, it'll take you out of it. Nah, he was definitely dead in that first shot. We'll have to remember this for a scene in Stranger Worlds when someone inevitably drops a big rock on a Gorn. Oof. Oh, I thought those had like massive thorns in the zoom out. Also, whoever directed this really did not want William Shatner to rip his shirt up. Like, it is still in one piece. Any other episode, William Shatner would just be in ripped pants at this point. Yeah, so all this slow movement here is it's just performance. They could go a lot faster. Ooh, you tore up your suit real bad there on the back of the arm. But yeah, I think he was actually quite easy to move around in that. I like to imagine before that cut, he went bonked just against the camera. So is Stranger Worlds eventually going to establish that Spock of the USS Enterprise is some sort of Gorn war criminal? Because they're going into Gorn war, right? Like, that's where the series is headed, Stranger Worlds. Like, they built it up so much in Season 2. He didn't mention, he said you could construct weapons, Kirk. VO. That was weird. It wasn't meant to be VO, because Kirk said something, but yeah, the audio didn't sync up. Do you think Sulu would have solved this instantly, because he's into, like, guns and stuff for some reason? Should you be touching that sulfur, actually, Kirk? Let's take a step back. Our memorial is to arm our near dead massively with photon cannons. You too can now watch Star Trek the original series in color as seen on CBS. Oh no, that's my age. I should have said Technicolor. That's what they had in the 60s. It looks like Pike! It's not the helmsman. Who's that? Ops? Tactical? What does Chekhov do? I don't actually know. That's Pike. Come on. Don't eat it, Kirk. You better make fun of him for when he gets back to the ship. Be like, Kirk, you just ate that cocaine you found on the ground? That's the look of, this isn't cocaine. God, this must have sucked to film. Like, there's so many shots of just running and that uniform up and down the rocks. Including your embarrassing diary entries. I love how we're watching this from the perspective of the bridge as well. I should set up a camera behind me so you can see, like, me watching it. Okay, so yeah, it wasn't a colony, it was like a military outpost. I mean, it's more that the Gorn aren't in the right and you're both in the wrong, but that's kind of the point, is like the Gorn weren't mindless animals straight into worlds. I really hope Strange New Worlds doesn't go into Gorn War, because it's easily the worst part of that series, anything Gorn. And what annoys me the most is it's because they're lizards, and like that's the reason. If it was like a monkey man, you wouldn't have this. So Spock, what did you do while I was stuck on the Gorn planet? Well, Captain, we just kind of like sat around and watched. It was real gripping. Snake people. No, that's the animated series. We'll do the animated series, don't you worry. You think I'm gonna skip the episode where they meet the devil and learn that he's not actually a bad guy, he's just misunderstood, and then he teaches them magic? Like, the best episode of Star Trek? I feel like this would be a great... if only I was this sort of channel. Like, how well would this sort of canon actually work, right? Like, how poorly can you mix gunpowder? Maybe even, like, try and use the ratios he's using. It's kind of funny, though, that Kirk's built, like, a massive cannon, and the Gorn just like, yeah, I got a knife. It works, man. I wonder if this script has more, like, stage direction than it does dialogue. God, why? Like, is it just way colder than it looks? Because this is the Californian desert. This is the Vasquez Rocks. And Kirk is barely breaking a sweat. Is it like December or something? I've also always wondered, what is the rope doing, right? Like, he just kind of wraps rope around this bamboo and is like, yeah, is it supposed to prevent it from exploding? But I think it's at the wrong end. And, like, it's honestly not that tight. Oh, 38 minutes. That guy died like 5 minutes ago. Remember from like 30 minutes ago? Didn't the Mythbusters do this episode once? Like, the Mythbusters did the Gorn episode. Hang on. Mythbusters Gorn. What did they find? Yeah, Mythbusters Gorn canon. What did they do? A few years ago, Mythbusters proved that the Gorn canon worked. Oh, there you go. Oh, wait. No, they concluded that the Gorn canon did not work, no matter how much leeway they gave it. It's possible to create impromptu gunpowder, and use it to effectively fire a cannon made from a bamboo stock. Busted! They collected ingredients and mixed them in various ratios, testing them against industrial powder. Meanwhile, they got thick bamboo. They wrapped the ropes. Set up the cannon with a Gorn in front. When they set it off, yeah, the powder only burned without exploding. And then when they did it with an actual cannon in the same powder, same thing. When they loaded the bamboo cannon with actual gunpowder, it exploded, which makes sense. But the Gorn was undamaged. The Gorn was undamaged when they actually blew up. That's a beautiful detail. Finally, they built a second barrel out of bamboo, reinforced it, and fired it with the same charge, injuring Buster far worse than the Gorn, and leading the team to declare the myth busted. Apparently in the novel, it just looks like bamboo, but it's a lot stronger, so... Well, I had a turn of heart. That wouldn't be civilized. These guys are more pompous than the Vulcans. Yeah, it's the weird bit. We'll get it more in other episodes. It looks like Pike. It's so weird. Sorry. But yeah, in other episodes, the whole kind of like humanity is inherently savage and evil aspect and like angle, and then apparently will be that way for several thousand years. Are you old enough? I'll stop you right there. Probably not. To remember when there was a prize of like 50 or 100,000 for the first free specs of a 3D printed gun that would work? I mean, you could just download one of those. Like, when was this? I don't know. A 3D printed gun that would work is like... I mean, yeah. I'll start worrying about that when I can't just, like, go to a Walmart and buy a gun. But even then, like, if you wanted to make a weapon, like, you could. You could probably make a wooden gun if you really felt like it. Well, the Mythbusters. I spent the whole day being bloodthirsty. Stay tuned, Star Trek Discovery. I always like sometimes when I'm on Memory Alpha checking the timeline for like the burn or something, and I see a little reference like, this is the year that Kirk amused that humanity may be able to be with the Metrons. And there we go. Arena. Yeah, no, it's one of the good uns, you know? It's probably not the best one Strange Worlds as TOS has to offer. You know, it's got, it's very, I mean, usually I don't go for action heavy. I mean, it was good action, which is interesting, because, like, I feel not a lot actually happened in this episode, but it was still enjoyable. You know, and that's someone I don't really go for action. Like, I spoilers, but tomorrow I'm gonna complain about a lack of things happening in Doctor Who, but like, objectively, way more things happened in the last episode of Doctor Who. But yeah, I'm more for like where more stuff is going on, I guess more philosophically, or like, I don't know, what's a good one? I'm looking. Trouble with Tribbles, I mean, that's a good one. That's just, you know, a comedy, got a lot going on. But yeah, probably, I don't know, it's still well within what TOS will do, but it's almost kind of genres straddling and like going over to a different genre for a bit. Oh, City on the Edge of Forever, that's coming up soon. Next week, Alternative Factor, is that the weird antimatter guy that, like, I never remember? Is that the weird antimatter guy? Yes, that is. I remember that one just being weird and making you confused about how the antimatter matter stuff works. We got Tomorrow is Yesterday coming up after that. I remember that one. That's time travel-y. Return of the Arconians. That's Landru. And A Taste of Armageddon. Is that the one that's just, like, sad? No, that's one where we meet one of the Klingons, like Kor, Kang, and Koleth. We get one of them. And then Space Seed. We'll go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks still Khan. In fact, Khan's gonna be after Prodigy, isn't it? That's what we're looking at, though. We got, actually, sorry, there is no watch-along next week. I have got something going on, so it's the week after that. And honestly, I don't know if there'll be a watch-along on the 29th because of Prodigy. Blimey, these dates are rapidly approaching. Yeah, we'll see. We're slowly getting through it. When am I projected? Like, September is when we'll hit season 2. At the moment is what it's looking like. And I think it's like sometime next year that we finish on paper. I really don't remember. But yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that. I liked getting back into the TOS watch along. Sometimes, especially if it's a slower, duller episode, I haven't been as into it, but I really liked that one. That was good. I was into it. We just crossed the hour mark, live stream. So, as I said, tomorrow, Caden and I will be reviewing Rogue. Doctor Who, that is sure to be an interesting one. I have no idea what he thinks about it. But it's probably different to what I think about it. Probably. It's actually going to be really weird if we start the stream and then we both agree. I know my wife and I disagree. How many points? I get 4, 5, 6. There's like 5 points, because we rank them out of 1 to 10, between the number my wife gave and the number I've tentatively given. I think I'm going to give in the episode. So there we go. There's a tease. But yeah, anyway, I will wrap it up. I will say thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next